Hey guys, welcome back. This will be part 3 of the MudRunner map editor tutorial. If you haven't watched part 1 and 2, go back and watch them because even if this isn't your first map, there's something that you can learn. There's always something you can learn. And plus there's some important things that I covered that are important as well. So this is where we left off on the last video. We covered materials, geometry, locators, models. Plants I didn't cover because distributions is what you're going to want to be using. Overlays, and now we're going to cover rivers. Okay, so when you make a river, now remember the two goals we're trying to achieve here: natural and fun. Okay, so you got to keep those in mind when making rivers. So let's start with the geometry tool. And let's get a good sized lake going. That's going to be a pretty good sized lake. So let's go right here. So we'll put a lake right here. Let's do the, obviously set our depth. Let's go to like 2.9. And let's make a little lake. Whoops, sorry. I was on flatten. Height. Alright. And then let's put another lake over here. So now we can connect these. Let's put a river in between them. So let's change the size to about 9 and our depth to about 35. Should make your depth pretty shallow on a river. That way you could cross it. And let's just connect these. Obviously you could get more detailed with yours. This is just an example. Okay, so now we got some height here. Alright. Click off that. And since we were using geometry tool, we need to rebuild terrain. Save. Okay, now go down to rivers. Right click, add river. Alright, so what we want to do here is you want to have a main reservoir. Alright, so we'll make this one over here our main reservoir. So you want 0 to be over on this side. You guys will understand better in a second. So let's go 0 to about right there. And you could size it up like this. And if it's too high, you could bring it down. Change the depth. Alright. Now what you want to do is try and shape your river. So go back to 1. And you want to add after. And start shaping it around your lake. Again, add after. Okay, so see these lines here? You need to pay attention to those. You don't want to start overlapping any of these lines, or else you're gonna have a tear or a bend in your river. It's going to look stupid. Pay attention to those. Add after. And you want to kind of keep the shape of your river. You don't want it too big. You don't want it way out here. Try and keep it the size of your river. Add after. And you see how I'm adding segments because I'm trying to keep this bend going without overlapping these lines. See, if you overlap, see what happens? You do not want that. So add as many segments as you can to get it to flow right. Add after. So now we're getting into our second little pond here. Just continuing to shape it, watching my lines, making sure nothing's overlapping. Oh, the second lake was bigger than I thought. Okay, so that'll work. Now, once you have that, there's your lakes, there's your rivers. Okay, so this is going to be our main reservoir right here because it's at 0. This is important. So click on your river, and down here you see type. It says blue. Okay. I don't like blue water. Nowhere are you gonna. There's nowhere in the world you're gonna find blue water unless you're like in Hawaii or something, or it's if you have like a raging rapid running through your map, maybe you'll have blue water. But realistically, you're not going to find any blue water, especially in stagnant water. It's going to be brown or it's going to be green. So keep that in mind. If you have a raging rapid river running through your map, okay, then maybe you could get away with blue. But for the most part, blue, you're not going to find blue water anywhere. Right? It's going to be like brown or green. So I like the green or brown. I use both. So just go here where it says blue and make it green. And rebuild terrain. There you go. See how much better that looks? I haven't even added any distributions or anything, and it already looks more natural than that blue. Or you could use brown to look good too. So now let's add some speed to this. So go back to water, change it to speed, and your value, let's set it to about, depending on how fast you want the water to flow. So remember, what you want to do is try and keep shit natural. Okay, so here's where the you're gonna have more massive water running through the middle than you are on the sides here. So the majority of the speed's gonna be through the middle. You don't want just make this all going with the same speed. It's gonna look arcadey. You're trying to make shit look natural. So what I'll do is I'll start my speed. The speed would probably pick up about right here. You're not going to have speed right here. So start your speed like right here. Make it a little bit smaller. Okay. Have it kind of just dump in like that. All right. Now, if you want to get some little bit more some movement on the shore, just drop your value down. Let's make our size bigger. About right there. So this is about where you start getting the speed to pick up. So let's just go like this. Right there. So it's pretty much where you're going to get the speed to stop. We're going to click off it. And now you look at it, and you can see where it's moving. And obviously you could tweak it more to make it look more natural, but you see how it needs a lot. It needs a lot more work. But I'm just giving you an example here where you could probably get more speed coming in right here, a little bit more, make it flow better. It takes a lot of work to get it to work right. But the reason why you got 0 here is because this is your main reservoir, so you want the water to flow this direction. And this is where it dumps off. Working with water is very hard. It's going to take time, but how I showed you is how you do it. Okay, try and keep your speed in the middle and work your speed in on the sides. So now foam. Go back to water. Change it to foam. And the foam, you could get creative too, the same way. You could add more foam in the middle where the speed is. Or you could just go over it like that and see how it looks. See, obviously that's way too much foam. You see how it's not flowing right. Okay, so go back to water. Let's go. Let's erase this. Let's actually give this a little more speed. Let's go and kind of get some speed going up here on the sides. It's starting to look a little bit better. But working the speed is very important to get it to look natural. But that's good enough for now. You guys get the idea. It could take a long time. Working with water is one of the hardest things to do. So let's go back and let's go to foam. Our foam was way too high, so let's see what this does. Let's get some foam in right here. Alright, so that wasn't enough to register, so let's go up a little bit higher. Let's see what it looks like. So you start seeing a little bit of the foam coming in. Keep adding it until you're happy with it. There you go. See how it's starting to come to life right here? We need some more speed right here for sure. But you guys get the idea how it works. Okay, it takes a long time to get water to look the way you want it. But the speed needs work and the foam needs work here. But it could take a long time for me to perfect it. Alright, so that's rivers. Mud. Okay, so let's go back to materials and go to dirt. And let's make some mud. A little muddy area right here. Okay. Now, there's a couple things you could do here. You could go to mud and you could go to automatic and it'll automatically make like a mud texture. Like let's go 70. And you see those white lines? Those are called extrudes. That's how deep your mud is. Now, also when you're placing mud, be realistic. Don't put a mud pit on the top of a hill or a mountain where there'll never be any mud. Mud is where there's moisture. So be realistic. Put the mud where there'll be water. So that's why this is a good spot for it because there would be mud right here. Alright. And you see how it made that mud texture? I don't like that. I don't use this. You guys want to use this, you can. Okay. I don't ever use this. I don't like it. Um, that's up to you guys. But we could go back to mud and let's turn automatic value. Let's get rid of all this. Alright. And I like to use extrudes. Okay. So I go down to extrudes right there. And I've noticed that about 0.70 is a good depth for mud. It's you could do a thin layer, but this is a good like, you'll get about half a tire in it. You could go deeper, but if you want that depth, but this is a good depth for mud. So I'll go set it to about 70 and I'll just put the mud where I want it. All right. And then if you want, you could add, you can even have a material to make a mud, or you could go to the tint tool and make it a little bit darker and make your own type of mud. And obviously you could get creative with distributions and mud chunks and all that stuff. Um, Take more time. This is a quick example, obviously, but I'm showing you other tools other ways you can make muddy surfaces. And the extrudes are here. So this is going to be muddy right here. So there's other ways you could do it. What else? I've pretty much covered everything. Oh, one more thing. When using our models, so add model. Okay, so our rock models are designed so that you could use them any direction. You could flip them, you could use any side of them, turn it. Now, if you're going to resize these, okay, you can size them up, but I wouldn't recommend it because it's going to blow the texture out. It's going to make the texture, the interface on it too blown out. It's not going to look as good. So if you resize it, try not to resize it too big, but you can always size them down as much as you want. And just take them, and you can place it in where you want it. Okay, there you go. And then if you want to duplicate it, go duplicate. You can turn it. Obviously, you're going to want to avoid having distributions in your rocks, so you'd want to clear all that up. But you guys get the idea. Okay, so you could flip them, you could do whatever you want with them. And anything else that I didn't cover? Oh, oh, trucks. This is super important. You need to have trucks on your map. So go to trucks, right click, add truck. Now type, if you don't know all the names of the trucks, you should go into your MudRunner directory and go to classes trucks, and they'll see the names of the trucks there. But there's UAZ 469, there's ZIL 130, there's CRAS 255, there's GAZ 66. Okay, so for this example, we'll just go UAZ 469. All right, and locked, no, you want this to be your active truck. False. It's not locked. And active, you want to make true. So when you load into the map, this is the vehicle you're going to load into. This is your active vehicle. So you can rotate it like this and place it where you want it in the garage. Right here, wherever you want it. Now, when you install your map to test it, spawn back into your garage and see where your vehicle spawns. Okay, if your vehicle is spawning in the spot where there's another truck, go to your locator, locators, garage, right? Oh, sorry, locators, garage, and rotate it. Rotate your garage this way so that when you spawn in a vehicle back to garage, it spawns in a spot where there's not shit in the way. All right? And then so there's your active truck. Now if you want to add another truck, just go to trucks, add truck, and then you could do like the ZIL 130. And this one locked, you can make it locked if you want, I don't. And then active, false, no, because this is the UAZ is your active truck. So, and then place it, you can place it like in front of these garage doors if you want, you know. So that's it. That's I think that's going to conclude my map tutorial. Uh, be creative. Remember, number one rule is to be natural, and also, well, the two rules is to be natural and make your map fun. Okay, those are your goals. Um, have fun. If you want me to test your map, I'm more than willing to test your map. I'll share it with my friends, Spawn, Brute, Jay, Mo, all my friends in our hangouts. And if Spawn really likes your map, there's a good chance that he'll showcase your map on his channel. If he really likes it, if it's a really good map, Spawn's gonna make a video on it. So take your time, and uh, Spun has a bunch of subscribers. So if your map makes it onto his channel, you'll get good notoriety on your map, and especially once the workshop comes out, you know, uh, it'll be worth it in the long run. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, let me know, and have fun, guys.